the idea that he did something that was significant. And the military, you know, when he was president, they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that. I'm the only president this century that doesn't have any, this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He should have fired every military man that was involved with that the Afghanistan horror show, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
And that was President Biden and former President Trump last night on Biden's botched Afghanistan withdrawal. They also discussed the war in Israel and the threat of Iran. Watch.
Netanyahu himself have endorsed the plan they put forward. The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas.
Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one. Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for anything, no money for terror. That's why you had no terror at all during my administration. This place, the whole world is blowing up under him.
I've never heard so much malarkey in my whole life. Look, the fact of the matter is that we're in a situation where, let's take the last point first. Iran attacked American troops, caused brain damage for a number of these troops, and he did nothing.
Meanwhile, Iran voting in a snap election today after President Ibrahim Raisi unexpectedly died in a helicopter crash in May. Joining me now is former Deputy National Security Advisor and American Conservative Union board member KT McFarland. KT, good to see you. I want to ask your take on the debate last night with regard to the foreign policy part of the conversation. How did you see things?
Well, it's pretty clear that Joe Biden is not capable of being president. He's not capable of being reelected. And so what I think that my big takeaway is not the specifics of this policy, that policy, is what messages is sent to our adversaries around the world. They're looking at this and saying, wow, Trump is likely to be president. We know how tough he is. We know he's going to bankrupt Iran. We know he's going to bankrupt Russia like he did last time. We know he's going to use tariffs to have a trade war with China, which he'll win. And so we better get this is our opportunity. If we're going to go after the United States, there's a narrow window of opportunity, and that window is closing. And the window of opportunity is the next 6 months. So I think we have now entered a period of maximum vulnerability for the United States. As Iran decides, for example, we're now going to unleash everybody against Israel because we know Biden isn't going to defend Israel because he's got a political problem with the Palestinians. This is our time to do it because we have the money to do it. When, as President Trump said, when he was president, Iran was broke. They might want to have invaded everybody, but they didn't have the money to do it. If you're Putin and Russia, you're making that same calculation. You're thinking, well, when Trump comes back in, Trump was tough on Russia. Trump bankrupted Russia because of Trump's energy policies. So if you're Russia, you're thinking, I'm going to soon be broke too. Maybe I better escalate in Ukraine. And if you're China, you're making that same calculation. So I think we've just entered a really dangerous era for the next couple of months.
So you think as a result of Joe Biden's weakness on the world stage, his obvious mental capacity issues, our adversaries are watching that and they're thinking, I've got a limited time to ramp up my aggression. I'm going to do it before he steps down in the next 5 months?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they know Trump's coming, right? And Trump was tough on all of them. You didn't have Russia invade anybody when Trump was president. You didn't have Iran getting into trouble with anybody when Trump was president. And you had China bested by a trade agreement because of Trump using tariffs. You know, for example, if you're the cartel.
But unfortunately, those adversaries are stronger. They're stronger today, though, KT. Are they not stronger today after Biden's weakness in the last 4 years? They're stronger today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, so it's not as easy today.
They're stronger today, and they know they've got this window of they're stronger today, and they've got a window of opportunity, and I think they're going to use it, and I think we're going to see a crisis after another in the next 6 months.
China going into Taiwan?
Go into Taiwan or have a trade war with Taiwan or a bear hug with Taiwan or, cut off trade with Taiwan or convince, there are a lot of things that these countries can do.
Yeah. All of this as others are predicting a 9/11 style attack given the wide open border. Yes, we are in a very tenuous time in America. KT, thank you. Great to talk with you. KT McFarland.